Alright guys, we're at one we haven't been for a very long time. It's the first time this year, and look at it. It's very tall. It's as tall as you're going to get, so up to my waist really. Well, the majority of it in my knees, and then a lot of it up to my waist. So we'll give it a good tidy up. And we've not done too badly with this gravel actually. The customer gave us some weed killer last time. And it's worked very well because there was a lot of grass that was very difficult to pull out because there's a weed membrane. Okay, let's go at it. Let's give it a go. We'll see if the mower will go through it. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, there's a load of bumps in here. Big old ant hills and all sorts in there, so we'll see how it gets on, but it's going through it. It's on the highest setting. Probably be full up by now. I'll go and grab the bin. Okay, I've got their waste bin from the front. It's a bit of a walk around, and Steve's getting there with the mower. It's very long grass and it's a little bit wet, which isn't ideal, but it's not too bad. We've had worse conditions, and I'm gonna bash this down. It's a big rose. Wow, it's got huge growth, loads and loads of growth. So we'll bash this down a bit. Show you from the other side. The drain's overflowing again. So we'll make that a bit better so the customer here can see out from her back window. And then there's all these weeds on the patio. We can either trim down or pull out. So a bit to do here. I wish I bought the tripod. The random child's shoe. It's not hers, that'll be from next door. We'll throw that over. I presume it'll be next door's. Chop down that hedge. Steve's tidying up, and then I've trimmed the patio. We'll blow that through in a bit, but there's this block drain, and it was like this last year. There's a snail in there, so I've got this stick, and yeah, you can definitely feel some soft stuff in there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, a bit of gunk in there. That looks like food waste, so I don't really want to touch that. Let's see if we've bought a fork or something to pull it out with. There we go, it's cleared anyway. We'll tidy that up a bit. Get rid of that now. Looking quite good. The lawn area, I've just trimmed around the edges so it's a bit messy. I'll tidy that up as well. And there's a lot to do. I need to get out the front because there's some giant weeds. But, oh, there's a nice... Wow, there's a very nice rose out here. It's a huge flower. There's my hand next to it. So you can see it's easily the size of my hand. And I don't have small hands. I'd say they're an average sized hand. It's beautiful. Look at that. And then randomly below, just much smaller blooms. So they've really done. It's very nice. Cool. Okay, well, we're carrying on. I'd say these are the biggest weeds I've ever seen in my life. It's these things, and they are up to my chin. They're absolutely huge and massive. So we're going to pull them out, and they're actually going to reveal quite a nice little rose behind it. There's one there as well. and there's some over there. So I'm just going to do a bit of work in this front garden. God, it's really nice roses here. These are huge as well, look, size of my hand, same as the last ones. And that one's just coming out. It's got that classic shape. Lovely. And there's some really nice ones up here as well. Very nice. There's something down there that suffered in the heat wave from last year. Yeah, and these all look like weeds as well. Just going to have to give it a good go and see how much we can get done, but we'll always come back. Oh look, this hydrangea's suffered really badly from the heat last year. It's only got a little bit of soil in this sort of front garden. It's doing... No, what is it? It's not a hydrangea. Wow, it's got really unusual flowers. Looks like a hydrangea unless it's got something else growing in it. Oh, that's the flower. Okay, very interesting. Okay, so we've done a good one in the back. Nice quick tidy up. Customer has been asking us to leave the gravel. She's got a weed killer she can use on it. Cleared up this bush so she can now see around it. Got the waste out the drain, so it's unblocked it, and then the patio is nice and clear. And I don't know if you remember what the front looked like, but wow, the biggest weeds I've ever pulled out. So I'll show you that. We're going to pack down the gear and get on to the next house. Okay, weeded out these big weeds and liberated this rose, and then weeded along here as well. So a few plants worse for wear from the heat wave I noticed last year. Looking good, and on to the next one. Alright guys, we're in this garden today, and it's this one with the nice shaped lawn, and the peonies are coming out, some there, but there's oh, I've just replanted this clematis from somewhere else in the garden, and it's on the side of with all the other clematises. Just got these peonies. We had a bit of rain this morning and they're big heads. I've just flopped them down, so I've got some string. I'm going to tie them up, and then we're doing some weeding out the front, so I'll show you any bits and pieces we're doing. Alright, I've tied them up quite loosely just down the bottom, and I still want to flop over to that side, which I could do a bit more about, but they do look quite nice from this side as well, coming through this gap, so I think we'll leave them there. Oh, thanks. I've got a drink. Oh, I'll come and take her. Oh, thanks. It's some nice orange juice. Alright guys, we're in this garden today, and a bit of a cloudy, rainy day, so it should stripe quite well. And just done the top lawn, and Steve's doing the strimming and edging, so I'll show you what it looks like at the end. There it is. These bushes are growing. We'll be hitting them in a few weeks when the nesting season's over for the birds. That's hawthorn on that side, and then it's more like there's a tiny bit of privet in that side. See the lighter green, but there's a lot of ivy, and there's a little bit of holly here as well. So garden looks good, really nice and neat and tidy and edged. Even this edge down here, so along here. Camera's struggling to stay level. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, we're in a new garden, very new actually this year, but I'm going to trim this bush. There's some lovely irises out. I better get a move on. Really nice white one. I'm going to cut these down to the ground and be really quite harsh with them, and then do some trimming on bushes in the back there, on the back wall. There's quite a lot to do here as well. These bushes need a little bit of a trim going up there. Try to get a bit of definition on the side, and this is sprouting out from where I've chopped it back before. So we're just going to see what we can get done. I'll just give you a walk through so you can see what it's like, do a before and after, and we'll just see how we get on. Alright, we're just going into the customer's back garden to tip some of the waste onto their compost, but look at this. It's I don't even know what that is. Beautiful. Looks very, very nice. And then they've got a huge rhododendron. It's absolutely amazing. And they've just had their lawn done, not by us. This is a new customer, and so they already had a lawn mowing service. Wow. That's a beautiful one. And Steve's just gone into the back, and the roses are out. There's, oh my goodness me, there's quite a lot going on in this garden. Some big yellow roses, and some more up there in the background. So they've got a what could be quite a significant compost heap, and I'd use the term roughly. Right in the back here, yes, it is what I thought it was. It's years and years of just absolute dumping. It's very deep. You can see they've got kind of brick walls around. It's a huge area, the size of a large shed, a footprint, a very large shed. And there we go. So God, it's quite an incredible area. Oh my goodness, I've just seen a playhouse next door. Don't know if you can see that. God, that looks good. They've got some grandkids or kids. It's a huge area, and then there's this huge retaining wall with these sort of buttresses go all the way along, and it's all screened by these, well, these ivy covered, they look like dead conifers. They are dead conifers just covered in ivy. Wow, that's really weird. I would have those taken out, extend the garden right back here, dig out all of this compost area and spread it around the garden, because there'll be some good soil under there. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things you can do. And the other side, they've got a summer house there. So, and that's that back corner. What an interesting but slightly strange garden. You can see why they've had the compost heaps sort of screened off from the rest of the garden. This huge tree just coming out in flower, which looks very nice. Anyway, we'll get back to it. Okay, there it is. If you can see the difference, so we've chopped this right back, which looks really nice. See all the irises in the front, they're beautiful. There's actually 4 different colours. Hello. And then we've chopped that back wall. Customer decided against chopping the rest of these down, but trimmed all these bushes so they look good, and given these a trim, 1, 2, 3 layers, and then given this a trim. There's quite a lot of stuff to clear up, and then this is what Steve's done. Oh yeah, that's where the fox is coming through.
Yeah, it comes through. There's one who comes in the evening this way.
We've given the whole driveway a blow, so it all looks good. And more to do next week. Well, 2 weeks time. Just back in my garden to finish the day. We don't have long. It's only about 20 minutes, half an hour. But Steve's taking, remember that huge bush that was right at the front of the border? That was taken out, and we're just cutting down the bush next to it. It's definitely a bush we want to keep. So Steve's just chopping it down to that sort of level, about 1 foot or 2 high. And we're going to keep the climbing rose in it for now, maybe flop it over the other side onto this stuff, but 'cause it's just about to flower, it'll be interesting to see what sort of colour it is. But the rose has been using the bush to climb up on, so it's totally unsupported and floppy, but we'll see what it looks like. And I'll show you what will happen to that bush. So these are the other bushes we cut down at the start of the year, and if you can see, this is one now, the growth is quite high, and that one back there as well. So they're all starting to grow out again, and there's a couple down here. This is an amazing tree. Well, it's a bush that's been sort of shaped into a tree, and this is about to start flowering. Look. But very, very nice plants in this garden. It's beautiful. So this fuchsia we chopped down, it's covering the front of the greenhouse. It was up to about here. And then this bush we chopped down as well, same style, and that's really come back. Just show you, we've put in some pea plants down here. And just did it with the boys, and that can grow up the trellis. And there's inside the greenhouse. It only gets light on the right hand side, so it's not the best place for it, but we'll have to move that at some point this year. Oh wow, there's bits of the rose that are just standing up. Cool. Let's have a look. Might be able to tie the bottom of it up somehow. Oh, that's great. That bit sticking up is the rose. So you can see where it was supported by that other bush. Brilliant. So we're creating a space now. We've got a plan where we're going to be planting new stuff here, rhododendron, forsythia, then we'll move across the border. We'll keep anything of interest. I'm not going to get rid of anything. Don't know what these things are. Big leaves, they're just about to flower. I've got a fern in there. I've got some money plants. And there are some weeds that we'll pull out. This grass hasn't done anything, and I don't particularly like the look of it, so I think we'll probably pull that out at some point. These are called dead nettles. Someone taught me that in the comments. And this is the Pierisc japonica, which is beautiful red leaves that then slowly turn into green ones. So there's a few bits and pieces around here. Granny's bonnet, just there, nice one. There's not actually a huge amount going on in this border because it's very, very shaded by a huge amount of growth to the right hand side, which we'll be looking to address somewhat. I'm going to have to invest in a chainsaw, and this bush will have to be pushed back. So there's a lot of work to be done in this border, but we're going to be planting it up and seeing what we can do about mulching